Welcome back. I'm Lex Levy, and this is Ancient Odysseys. Join me in my adventures as I explore and investigate the mysteries of ancient sites across the world. We just completed the Land of Chem 2024 Ancient Alchemy and Ascension Tour, and it was a great success. Shout out to my amazing husband, Jeffrey Drum, for leading a spectacular tour. I am so excited for the next one. In today's episode, I will take you with us on our 2023 day-long Fayoum Oasis Expedition to the extraordinary Qasr El Sagha, locally known as the Palace of the Goldsmith. Before Qasr El Sagha, Jeffrey and I first explored the Pyramid of Maidum and Mastaba 17 in episode 17, where we climbed through tight passages filled with bats. Next, we journeyed to the Pyramid of El Lahoun in episode 20, and it was here that we observed the most exquisite artifact of unparalleled masonry that we have witnessed thus far in Egypt. Then we traveled to the Pyramid of Hawara in episode 26 in search of the lost labyrinth that Herodotus wrote about in his histories. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to Keith Hamilton and his incredible research. His layman's guides are such a valuable resource, and many of the diagrams used in this presentation are from his work. And a big thank you to all of my team members at the Asida Project for your support. Now, let's go! Let's take a trip to Qasr El Sagha, located in the Fayoum Oasis. And I will show you the route of our expedition. We began in a little town called Tunis, where we had a late lunch of roasted duck, and we had to switch out our vehicle to a four-wheel drive Jeep because our bus could not make the trip through the desert. We traversed the eastern tip and the perimeter of Lake Quran. Our new driver hauled ass to the site because the sun was setting and he wanted to get us there in time. We were dodging sand dunes that covered the road all along the way with Arabic music blasting. It was exhilarating. I've never seen such beautiful geological formations, and it felt like we were on a different planet. We arrived at the perfect time to witness the sunset at Qasr El Sagha. Today, the temple is about 8 kilometers away from the shoreline of Lake Quran. I'll pull back here so you can see its distance. At the time of its construction, it is thought that the shoreline of Lake Quran was only a few hundred meters away, which would have allowed boats to dock. Why this location was chosen is not known, although rich material deposits in the area may have been a factor in the site location. There are items such as limestone, gypsum, basalt, dolerite, and petrified wood. The structure is oriented southwest to northeast, and it is not known if there are any archaeoastronomy studies carried out on this site. It would be interesting, though, to see if there are any astronomical alignments. It is not clear if this structure was ever completed, as it is devoid of any inscription and many of the blocks are not dressed. Its architectural style made early investigators suggest that it may have been from the Old Kingdom, though today conventional Egyptology attributes this temple to the Middle Kingdom. The front facade of the temple contains large orthostats, and Dieter Arnold would state, "This large stone facade has given the temple a date in the Old Kingdom. However, this is not a real megalithic construction with giant blocks extending through the walls, but the walls were clad with technical sophistication with orthostats, which are only supposed to simulate a megalithic character." The strongest evidence for dating of the temple comes from the actual construction rubble, found in the debris heaps southwest of the temple. And here was found the oldest ceramics in the vicinity, which correspond to the reign of Senusret II and III. To me, the polygonal masonry closely resembles ancient structures of South America. And the architectural style of Qasr El Sagha reminds me of what is found at the Assyrian. It may in fact be far older than what is conventionally believed. Qasr El Sagha was first brought to the attention of the modern era by George Swineford, a botanist and ethnologist who came across the site and left his initials here on a stone dated 1884. Flinders Petrie would also visit the site, and he would record his initial impressions and sketches. Modern excavation of the temple would take place in April of 1977 by the German Archaeological Institute and carried out by Dieter and Dorothea Arnold. A local guide referred to this site as the Palace of the Goldsmith, stating that all currency minting for the area was done here, when the Lake Quran was much closer to the structure in Boatswood Harbor. However, our investigations did not find any evidence to support this theory, other than the apparent ancient security of the locking mechanisms and its remote location. We are now approaching the northern face of Qasr El Sagha, and you can see an opening into the structure that looks very similar to a door. However, this may be a robber's breach. And here you can see a nub, which is likely a lifting boss for the stone. We will now pause for a moment to take off our shoes and connect with the earth. If you look closely, you can see a dovetail housing for a metal joining piece, which has since been extracted. The beautiful landscape near Lake Karan reminds me of the Grand Canyon, or what you would see in Sedona. Here is an excellent 3D rendering of Qasr El Sagha done by Keith Hamilton, which will help you as we navigate the structure. Here is the entrance, the 7 cells, the eastern room, the 2 western rooms, and the corridor. Here we are facing west, and you can better see the corridor and access to the housing of the locking mechanism. This is a diagram of the different layers of the foundation. And here in yellow is how the roof was thought to be configured. If you want to help support our adventures, please like, share, subscribe, and pick up some badass Ancient Odysseys merch. The link is in the video description below. Also, please subscribe to our 2 new channels, Egyptian Trash Cats where we document our saga in caring for the street cats of Egypt, and Egypt Eats for all of our crazy culinary adventures. Thank you all very much.
Yep, so this is most likely, you can see here, there was a door here. So a piece here, and a hinge here.
There's supposed to be a mechanism
This is saying that in some of the research it showed that there was a mechanism housed inside of this component. Walk around this way and see what it is.
This is a photo taken from within the entrance of Qasr El Sagha, facing east. It is believed to be a housing for a deadbolt or other locking mechanism. And here, we are facing west from the corridor, looking into the entrance. And there is a neatly cut rectangular housing. Arnold suggested that when the temple was locked, a stone would be inserted into the niche to hide the hole's location. Arnold suggests the temple was not used and guarded all the time, but was left to its own devices and exposed to the risk of looting. The nearby settlement was therefore not permanently inhabited. While this may have been the case, it would seem strange to build such an impressive temple for a settlement that may have only seen seasonal use. The impressive defensive walls of the settlement, together with the somewhat austere fortress-like appearance of the temple, might be indicative of its remote location. The location may not have been a secure one, as darkness fell. Workers and priests alike would retire to the well-defended settlement after securely locking the temple against any possible marauders. Here is a plate of different ancient Egyptian locking mechanisms. This is a photo I took during the Land Chem 2024 Ancient Alchemy and Ascension Tour when we visited the Cairo Egyptian Museum. And these are metal door hinges. This is a photo of a rare survivor, a wooden door from the Old Kingdom, and this will give you an idea of what the doors may have looked like.
So you can see that there was line that goes up here. Cells.
hold on. Wait for me. The western rooms consist of 2 compartments. To access the rear room, one has to crawl through an opening in the dividing wall, approximately 1 cubit wide. Arnold would suggest that the temple's more valuable items would be stored in this compartment.
What do you see?
How the small entrance was concealed, and the role of the strange shelf cut in the wall will remain unknown. But it is interesting how they hung the door on this side. For in the open position, door would obscure the small opening. Possibly behind the open door, the wooden chest could act as a continuation of the doorstop and cover the opening, with the shelf containing a few items.
And just look at this stonework. I mean, the shape of this block. The joint.
It appears that the structure may have undergone a catastrophe, as the majority of the blocks are shifted out of place, leaving large gaps where the stones once met with incredible precision. And you can see an example of this here.
Some of the erosion that you can see in here.
Look, there's a slit behind all of the cells.
Yeah, so it looks like there may have been an event of some sort that has set the foundations of the structures
Yeah.
Stones. Make sure to go into each one of these. Interesting. Here you can see this joint. 2 pieces of stone. That's almost flawless. Look at that.
The stones that make up the vast bulk of the temple are described as Upper Eocene limestone, which contain a lot of fossils and sand, and has a hardness of 4.5 on the Mohs scale. An on-site inspection by 2 geologists could not determine the origin of the limestone, though it is thought that the sandstone and taphel foundation layers could be from a local area. It would be most interesting to trace the origin of the temple's fine limestone.
You wouldn't get that impression from the outside. Here's a...
Well, these each had doors.
Here. A little bit of some sort of hinged mechanism here. Yeah, it's the same over here. It's got the 2 one here and one here. Again, some sort of mechanism that would have, yep, as you can see down here, that same piece down at the bottom. So a door, or rather a gate.
Yes, I do.
So this central cell here is definitely the largest of the 7.
I think you can.
The long offering hall contains the 7 cells that sit on a raised platform. The middle cell, opposite of the main entrance, is wider than the other 6. When one looks at Petrie's measures, a strange pattern emerges, in that the shrine ascends in width toward the central cell. Arnold would state, "What is striking in the area of the chapels is both the accuracy of the dimensions and the care taken with the stone processing and the selection of particularly hard and regular stones."
very unusual piece here. This rippled pattern on it. And I really appreciate having Alexa with me on these site visits. She has a very good eye for the abnormal stuff. You can see this is another kind of yeah. Alright, so Lex just pointed out that the ceiling on each one of these cells gets progressively more eroded. Look at all the weathering and staining in this one, the center one. This one, and she just suggested that it's for different stages of a alchemical process. Yep, look at this one.
As we investigated the interior of the temple and the 7 cells within, we noticed an increase in erosion on the ceilings of each cell. Here you can see the last 3 cells and how highly eroded the ceilings are, which is very odd because they are protected from the elements. You do not see this erosion on the exterior of the temple. Here is a photo of the 7th cell. And we thought perhaps these 7 cells could represent the 7 stages of alchemy.
Alright, so we have tubular drill
Oh.
here. Indicating that there was definitely a mechanism of some sort in here. You can see that there's a lip about a 2, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Around the edge. And this is definitely a passage. This is the housing of the mechanism here. This is the hole. Okay. You saw the doorway. Something would have stuck through there. Probably a big locking mechanism of some sort, maybe. So there's no way we're both going to fit in this way. So if you want to come scoot back, I'll go that way.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. I got it. Go wide.
Okay. Show me what you saw. Okay. Show me what you saw.
All right, so again, there was something at the top here.
Oh, yeah. There is drill. 2 drill. Suck it in. Okay. We'll go towards the edge. Oh, wow. Maybe they had a key of some sort?
And all right, so again, there was something at the top here.
towards the entrance. Oh wow. Maybe they had a key of some sort? Okay.
I don't know why, but that seems appropriate.
I like that idea very much.
There, so ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much concludes the recorded portion of our exclusive special permission access. Qasr El Sagha. Palace of Tools. Definitely goes down the list as one of the strangest sights.
This concludes our trip to Qasr El Sagha, the Palace of the Goldsmith. It was by far the most unusual site we visited and our favorite experience of the entire expedition. And I want to know, what do you think it was used for? Please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more epic adventures from Ancient Odysseys. Never stop exploring. If you want to help support our adventures, please like, share, subscribe, and pick up some badass Ancient Odysseys merch. The link is in the video description below. Also, please subscribe to our 2 new channels, Egyptian Trash Cats, where we document our saga in caring for the street cats of Egypt, and Egypt Eats, for all of our crazy culinary adventures. Thank you all very much.